What's going on, guys? I'm Louie here from Sin City Living.
And I am Jason. Welcome to today's episode. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we want to give our usual shout out to our patrons. We appreciate all the tips and support. It's just going to go towards making the channel better and adding more games, hopefully roulette next. And for today's episode, what are we going to talk about, Louie?
Getting ready for an audition.
That is right. This is actually going to be a two-part video. The first one is going to be dealing with dice, and the second one will be dealing with everything else. So, for an audition, first thing that I would recommend, be confident. It's all about the confidence. You can make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. I have made at least one mistake in every audition I've ever been to. Minor mistakes each time, but it's okay to make a mistake. You should be dealing with absolute confidence, like you know you have got this. Not cockiness, but confidence.
I will say this, be ready for anything. I've been on auditions where they've been hosted at dealer schools. I've been on auditions where you get thrown on live games. I've been in an audition where they take you underground and they bring you to a back room where they have table games set up in the back where you audition with the casino manager and the shit boss and all kinds, and whatnot. I've been in group auditions. I've been in auditions where it's just you by yourself. So get ready for anything.
Yep.
And it's okay to be nervous. Everybody's nervous, but like Jason said, confidence. Now, if you're not very confident, fake it.
Exactly.
Fake it till you make it.
You pretend. You act like you are fully confident in what you were doing. Like the audition is just another day, just another game that you've been dealing for a while, because it is. It absolutely is just another game.
Right.
Now, that being said, if it's not your first audition, if it's not your first job, if you've been dealing for a little while already, you probably will have picked up a few shortcuts or flashy moves or cool things you've learned from other dealers in the first place you worked at, things along those lines. So what I will tell you, drop them all. Yep. Drop them all and go right back down to your most basic dealing. I will show you a couple of examples real fast. I'll just show you one example real fast. Once you've been dealing for a while, let's say you're auditioning at, it's not too many of these left anymore, but a $5 table. Well, no, you know what, we'll do a $10 table. So you've got a $12 place bet. Once you've been dealing for a little while and the box trusts you, the casino manager trusts you, a lot of times you're going to do something that I call capping your payout, where instead of cutting it out properly, you're going to drop it, come on down, and pay it. You're not going to actually show your payout. And at the most basic bet levels, I will say there's nothing wrong with that. Do I do that even as long as I've been dealing? No. I do it on occasion, yes, but for the most part, most of my payouts are going to come out perfectly proper, and it doesn't actually save me any time to do this. It's a tenth of a second versus that. But in an audition, you want to be very, very, very precise and perfectly proper. That is the first piece of advice I would give.
My advice, talk your game.
That's what I was
I am super huge on talking your game. Book your bets. Someone gives you some, they give you, even if it's something as little as $26 across, you book it $26 across. If you're using their money, using their money. Tell them what the change is. Book your bets. Tell the payouts. 12 pays 14. Here you go. 12 pays 14 going to 18. $8 change. All that good stuff.
Let me get across.
Well, this is why you book your bets, because you don't know what they want across. I would book $2.70 across, $30 change, and I'd set it up. And what would I do? How would I set it up? I would set it up inside. Oh, my apologies. $135 across. That's why we book our bets, because then if something like that were to happen, I book the bet. And if I'm on a live game, then I have the boxman or the stickman to say, oh, you're short on a couple or something like that. They'd catch it because I booked it. I verbally booked it. Everybody heard it. If I make a mistake, it's not that big a deal because they caught it. Okay?
And that verbal thing, 270 across, 30 change. that is exactly what a good dealer should do. They should say that out loud. Absolutely.
One thing that I wouldn't stress too much on, unless you're getting ready to go to like an Aria or Caesars or something like that, is high limit action. You're not going to deal high limit. Those high limit dealers are dealers who've been around for a long time, and they're going to be the most trusted dealers at that casino that are going to be dealing that action. Somebody that's proved themselves, so don't worry too much on it. It's good to know, but as I stressed over in a separate video, know your basic action, your everyday action that you're going to be dealing every day.
Yep. If you're going to a tier 4 casino like Louis mentioned, they may in the audition throw you some high limit bets to see how you react, but they're also going to make sure they throw you some 81 acrosses or 108 acrosses and see how you pay those, because and press moves on the basic everyday bets. If you can't do those, it doesn't matter if you can do the high limit. If you can't do those basic ones and do them well, then they're not going to be interested. So focus on the basic.
Right. I went on an audition at a tier 4 casino where they threw me a $500 chip and they said, give me the inside. Okay, well, my apologies. The point was they throw me the inside. Inside could be a bunch of things, especially at that denomination. But it's all about confidence and how you carry yourself along the way. And like I said, break it down to what you know. If somebody gives me $50 and it's a $15 table, I'm going to assume they want 48 inside. I'm going to give them 2 change. Well, it's the same thing. They gave me $500. I just booked 480 inside, $20 change, and then nobody said anything, so I just kept it going. I had another one where they threw me, I believe it was $400. They said, give me the inside, no change. And this is an easy one, actually, believe it or not. Especially at a tier 4 casino where they probably see this action every day, which for Jason and I, my apologies, this is actually pretty common action too, something we see pretty regularly. We're not at the most highest end casino, but I'm sure at a high end casino they expect you to know this. So, like I said, unless you're going to an audition at a tier 4 casino, you better know it. But
well, and here's the other thing too. If you're auditioning in a tier 4 casino, they do understand that the action you're most familiar with is the action that was specific to where you last worked. They'll know that your unconscious reactions are going to be very specific to the property that you worked at. So if somebody throws you that $500 chip and says, give me the inside, and you don't have an instant, okay, 480 inside, 20 change, if you say, absolutely, how would you like that? Would you like 480 inside? Would you like 320 inside? Well, exactly how would you like that? If you ask that question, they're going to be okay with that. Right. If they throw that $400 to say, give me the inside, no change, how exactly would you like that? If you don't have it instantly, it's better to ask than to freeze.
Yes. Just keep talking. Act like I said, like Jason said earlier, and I added on confidence. And if you're you're not sure, don't be afraid to ask. Don't hesitate to ask. Another one that I want to get on is just ask quick. Hey, what are your procedures? What are your this? Are you an auto buy at $10? What is your buy at? Do they have to announce that the 4 and 10 are bought? What is your juice? The big.
Where's your cutoff for the courtesy vig? Do they pay in advance? Do they pay afterwards?
Are your hardways 15 to 1 or 14? Or 31 for 1 or 30 for 1? Or are they 32 for 1? Every casino has their own.
Oh yeah, look at the field.
The field.
This says pay double. We pay triple.
How about the odds? Double, 3, 4, 5, 10 times, 20 times, 100 times. And it doesn't hurt either to do your research. I will say this. If you're going to go on an audition somewhere, go there a week or 2 in advance and go check out the action. Check out their normal everyday action. Walk by, talk to a couple people, see how it is. Do your homework.
Right along with what Louis was saying, with talking your game out, when they do throw the strange stuff at you, talk it out. Let's say they threw you that. Didn't even give you time to ask you questions, break it down. They just said, I want all that on the 6. Cool. And now it's 6 rolls. Well, what are you going to do?
You better talk your game out.
That's right. You better talk your game out. So the first thing that I would do is switch those out. And then you break it down. You go, okay, what do we have here? Well, we have 925. This is actually pretty easy because we know 900 pays 1,050. 25 pays 29. So that's exactly what I would do. I would break it down and go 900 pays 1,050. 25 pays 29. 1,079, and then I would cut it out.
I want to add to what Jason just did. He cut everything out of the count. Anytime you have something strange that you have not seen, especially in an audition, don't sit there and work right in between the other place bets, especially if you're on a live game. You cut it out of the count. Notice how Jason cut it out of the count. Whether it's this way, should have been this way.
Yeah.
But it's no biggie. You cut it out of the count. This is your work area. Work with it. Work with what you got. You know, if they want to do an odd press, you have everything out in the count. You're going to have the payout in the count. You know, make it proper. If, you know, or press it to whatever they want you to press it to. But you have everything you need out in the count.
Like our instructor used to say, cut out money every time.
Yes. Every time. The last thing you need is for you to be thrown, like I said, you don't know what kind of an audition you're going to get thrown on. Are you going to be on an audition at a dealer school, downstairs? Are you going to be thrown on a live game? The last thing you need is for you to be thrown on a jam-packed game, 8 players aside, whether it's a $3 game, 5, 10, 15, 20, it doesn't matter. And everything is filled to the brim. And you're cutting it out in the middle of your place bets or your cum bets. Cut it all out in the cum, okay? Talk your game, cut it out in the cum, and take your time. There is no reason for you to be Speedy Gonzalez about things. Take your time. They want a smooth, clean dealer who knows their payouts, who knows the game. Do they expect you to make mistakes? Yes, they know you're nervous. Take your time. Take your time. There is, like I said, they don't want somebody who's going to make a mistake on every bet. But a couple mistakes here and there, that's fine. And,
not a big deal.
And if you're in a live game, talk to your players. Talk to your players.
If you are a break-in, if you are going to your break-in casino, you have to take your game to an even higher degree because they know you're brand new, and talking the game out is one of the foundational pieces to dealing dice. Now, eventually, you spend more time talking to players than talking the game out because these become unconscious. Paying stuff like this, we don't really think about. We glance at it, and our hands just start moving. I've actually I've had an entire roll go by that I really don't recall paying it. I just know that they didn't stop the game and yell at me, so I must have paid everybody. But I was watching the TV probably and glanced down and just paid things. But as a break-in, what they expect, not just in the audition, but as you're dealing, to prove yourself and show that you know what you're doing, they expect you to talk your game out. So this is how I dealt, not just at my audition, but this is how I dealt for the first first 2 weeks of my break-in casino until the box actually turned to me and said, dude, I trust you. You've got these down. You can stop doing that because you're distracting me while I'm watching the other side. This is exactly how I dealt every single roll. For 6 rolls, 12 pays 14, same bet. 6 pays 7, same bet. 30 pays 35, same bet. 18 pays 21, same bet. 60 pays 70, same bet. It's exactly how I dealt my audition and my first couple of weeks at my break-in casino. If you were brand new, that is the core of talking your game out.
Yeah. To just play along with that, in terms of talking your game out, communicate. Communicate with your stick man. If you're on stick, communicate with your baseman. If you're on stick, watch your side. Watch your payouts. Communication. Book your bets. Double book your bets. So if you're on base, somebody throws in a hard way, the stickman's going to book it, you're going to book it. Double book. There's no issues. Don't do anything flashy. Stick to basics. If you're on base, you'll see a lot of dealers, they'll be on base, and then they'll just start flipping checks or messing around or doing stuff. They'll do all this kind of stuff, or they'll have their hands down and you'll see them like rippling checks off to the side. Don't do that. Especially if you're on a live game. Just stand there, hands on the rail. Stay out of the dice, out of the way of the dice, of course.
Don't lean on the table.
Don't lean. Don't be a one-handed dealer.
Oh yeah, no tripods while you're paying.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do that. Personality is key. One thing you can do, I've always heard this saying, after being in the business for a while, I'm not quite a believer anymore, is we can teach anybody to deal, but we can't teach personality. Yeah, you can't teach everybody to deal.
Right, yeah. They're absolutely right that you can't teach personality, but they are wrong that you can teach anybody to deal. That is absolutely true. There is actually one thing that they do teach in the schools with regards to personality that I actually disagree with. And that is when you tap in on your game, hello everybody, my name is Jason, I'll be taking care of you. How's everybody doing today? That sounds like a used car salesman. It sounds so fake, it sounds so silly, and you're wearing a frickin' name tag. Tap into your game, look down at your bets, look up at your players, hey, how's it going everybody?
Right.
You want to be friendly, but you don't want to be fake.
Well, not to mention, you don't know what kind of table you're getting into. Are you coming to a table where everybody's down a lot of money, and
Yeah.
are you coming to a table where everybody's friendly? You know, you come into a table where it's a break-in, where they're getting ready to take shots at you, and they see you coming in with this uppity attitude. They go, "Oh, he's new," or "He's on."
Yeah, game on.
Game on. Right.
Yeah, that's an excellent point.
Yeah.
It's an excellent point because the break-in casinos, they know the new
Right.
players because they're almost always locals that are there to, they go there specifically for one of two reasons, either because of low table limits or because they know the dealers are new.
Right. Exactly. They get away with their shots, get some extra money. Yeah. And you never know. Just, you never know. Be friendly, but don't come off as being just an airhead, I guess. That's
Yeah.
I don't have no other way to put it. I mean,
Airhead, a space case, or that you're just trying too hard. That's what I just don't like about the hello everybody, my name is such and such. How's everybody doing today? You just sound so fake and so like you're reading off a script, and nobody likes that. You just tap in, hey guys, that's perfectly good enough, even at an audition. Hey guys, and then check your table, because the very first thing you want to do is you want to look at your bets.
right.
Then you can start chatting people up while you're dealing, but first, check out your table, check out your layout.
Right. And they will take shots at you, whether it's the players, whether, like I said, or you're auditioning with a floor person, a shift boss.
Oh, those could be the worst.
And they know how to take shots, especially if you're auditioning with a higher up who knows the weak points. They're gonna go and throw money in your blind spot. They're gonna sweep DCs. They're gonna add to their bets. They're gonna catch weaknesses. If you have a come bet, you know, you have $15 or $20 come bet or something like that, and you have 20 odds or something like that. If they see you pinch it,
Oh yeah.
they'll take a shot at that real quick.
Oh yeah. No, I had 25 in odds.
Yep. Just be ready and but relax, you know. But I was told one thing by one of my favorite floors. He says, stick to procedure.
Always.
Stick to procedure, because even if you make a mistake, as long as you stick to procedure, you're going to reduce your chances of making a mistake. And if you did make a mistake, you can backtrack because you stuck to procedure. You did everything in order.
That's why the procedure is there.
Right.
It's really the best advice that I can think of is talk your game out, stick to procedure, bring it down to the basics, don't be flashy.
Yeah. Be confident, not cocky.
Yeah.
And if you're not confident, fake it.
Absolutely.
They know you're nervous. They know it.
They expect some mistakes because of nervousness or because of unfamiliarity with the playing style of the players or with the rules of the table.
Right.
No big deal. No big deal.
Procedure's different everywhere. Stick to what you know. Ask questions. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think that's about it. For any of you guys that are coming out of schools or have been dealing for a while and moving on to another casino, good luck to you guys.
We hear from Sin City Living.
I am Jason. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons.
We'll catch you guys on that.
Later.